When Mark Carney touched down in South Korea, it was in the shadow of Air Force One, a sign that wherever the Prime Minister goes, the U.S. trade war also follows him. After arriving, he was whisked away to a dinner hosted by the South Korean president that Donald Trump is also at. Carney ducked U.S. reporters' questions about his message to Trump in advance of the meeting, saying he had a message for the president, referencing the South Korean leader. Cameras caught Carney and Trump acknowledging each other before dinner with a friendly finger gun going both ways. Trump and Carney are seated across from each other at the dinner, and with only 8 leaders in the room, they're likely to have some kind of conversation at dinner, which would mark the first time since Trump called off trade talks that the pair would have spoken.
Look closely at that moment. 2 men in the same room, but worlds apart. Just days after Trump threatened to cut ties with Canada, Mark Carney walked into South Korea and secured a historic submarine deal, a move that stunned even his critics. You can almost feel the reversal of power. Trump arrived trying to dominate the spotlight, but it was Carney who owned the room. He didn't need confrontation, just quiet results. While Trump talked tariffs, Carney built alliances and sealed one of Canada's biggest deals in decades. Wait, stop. So he's got to climb down about 7 meters. 7 meters. And how many submarines come off the assembly lines? 1 per year, 1 per year. Once again, so there's 3 floors in this. So what's happening? While Donald Trump is busy threatening to end relations with Canada, thinking it'll knock us off balance, what did we do? We did exactly the opposite. Under Mark Carney's leadership, Canada is building up its strength, not shrinking from the world. Carney just confirmed a major trade and defense deal with South Korea. Canada will buy a fleet of 12 advanced submarines, selecting Korean technology over the slower German option. Let's be clear, this is a strategic pivot. Canada is aligning with an Asia-Pacific partner who can deliver fast. South Korea's KSS-3 submarine class offers cutting-edge design, shorter build times, about 6 years each, and the strength to modernize Canada's entire fleet. Trump's tantrum against Canada, it doesn't faze Carney. The message is simple. Canada doesn't freeze when threatened. Canada evolves when challenged. What does this tell you? 1. Canada is no longer playing backup to the U.S. whims. 2. Carney is proving Canada form independent alliances that actually serve Canadian interests, not just follow Washington's moods. 3. If Trump thinks bullying one country will make others buckle, he's wrong. Canada is using this moment to reposition itself as a serious sovereign power. And let's be honest, this isn't just about submarines, it's about respect. While Trump isolates and lashes out, Carney is quietly building bridges between Canada, South Korea, Japan, and even Europe, where mutual trust and shared growth matter more than political theater. So when Trump says cutting ties with Canada will teach us a lesson, he's right about one thing. It did teach a lesson, but not to us. It showed the world that Canada doesn't beg for approval. It builds new alliances. Carney's submarine deal with South Korea is proof that the future belongs to those who stay calm, think ahead, and act with purpose. In the last 6 months, we've worked to create the right conditions to get big things built faster. At the end of June, we passed the One Canadian Economy Act to remove federal barriers to internal trade and to fast-track the approval of nation-building projects. Just a few days ago in Kuala Lumpur, Prime Minister Mark Carney stood before the world at the ASEAN summit and dropped a line most people missed. Canada's international options are considerable. Now we know exactly what he meant. Within days, he turned that statement into action, signing a landmark defense and trade deal with South Korea and proving that Canada is no longer just part of the conversation, it's leading it. What's happening right now is bigger than submarines. It's about a shift in power from those who shout to those who strategize. While Trump spends his time burning bridges and blaming allies, Carney is using diplomacy as a weapon. He's entering spaces where U.S. influence is fading and planting Canada's flag with confidence. South Korea isn't just a partner, it's an entry point into Asia's fastest-growing defense and tech markets. That's the kind of forward thinking the U.S. used to be known for before Trump turned foreign policy into a loyalty test. And here's the thing, Carney didn't need to posture or threaten anyone. He showed up, listened, negotiated, and walked away with a deal that strengthened both nations. That's how credibility works. You earn it. You don't demand it on Twitter. This moment marks a turning point. Canada isn't waiting for Washington's approval anymore. It's aligning with nations that share its values, its technology ambitions, and its long-term vision for global stability. The irony? Trump's attempt to isolate Canada pushed it straight into the arms of stronger allies. So if you're wondering who's really winning this game, look at the scoreboard. While Trump rages about broken partnerships, Carney is building new ones across oceans. Canada isn't reacting anymore. It's redefining what leadership looks like: steady, smart, and unshakably sovereign. Because Carney didn't just say Canada had options. He proved it. And the world just watched him do it. Donald Trump in Asia to make trade deals, but not with Canada. The Prime Minister left on the sidelines. Trump explicit online he wasn't in South Korea to see Mark Carney, but the two shared a dinner table with other world leaders. Their first encounter since Trump terminated trade talks. The tariffs, properly used tariffs, very properly used, and other countries as you might have used them against us. Cameras capturing the two acknowledging each other, but not much more. At that dinner table in Seoul, the cameras caught it. Trump and Carney sitting just a few seats apart, exchanging a brief nod, nothing more. No handshake, no side meeting, no staged photo op. And that silence said everything. Mark Carney wasn't there to flatter or chase Trump's attention. He was there to do business, real business, the kind that shapes Canada's future, not Trump's ego. Trump flew to Asia to make deals and headlines, but not with Canada. He even made it clear online that he wasn't in South Korea to see Carney. That's fine. Carney didn't need him. While Trump postured and lectured about properly used tariffs, Carney was meeting defense and trade officials, quietly finalizing Canada's submarine agreement with South Korea. That's the difference between a showman and a statesman. One plays for applause, the other plays for outcomes. You could feel the tension. Trump is surrounded by allies growing tired of his unpredictable tantrums. And Carney, calm, measured, fully aware that Canada's future doesn't depend on the mood of one man in Washington. When reporters asked if they spoke, Carney's answer was simple. Very good. I had a very good conversation. That's how a professional ends a non-event, with grace. Meanwhile, back home, Trump's own team was in chaos. His ambassador to Canada, Pete Hoekstra, reportedly unleashed a profanity-filled rant at a diplomatic event meant to celebrate U.S.-Canada relations. Think about that. An ambassador cursing out Canadian officials while Trump hides behind trade threats. It's not diplomacy, it's desperation. Carney's restraint speaks louder than Trump's insults ever could. He's proving that Canada can lead without permission, negotiate without submission, and thrive without America's approval. Trump may have skipped talking to Carney, but the world noticed who had real influence that week because Carney didn't need validation from Washington. He came to Asia to secure Canada's interests and left with new allies, new deals, and a new message to the world. Canada doesn't wait to be invited to the table anymore. It brings its own chair. All these people are going down. All these people are going down. Are they going down? Yeah? Thank you. I'll be back in 6 days. Thank you. There it is. The moment the cameras caught Prime Minister Mark Carney stepping inside South Korea's KSS-3 submarine. No podium, no empty speeches, just quiet confidence. That single image tells the story of a country that's no longer waiting for others to define its worth. After sealing landmark trade deals with China and Japan, bringing BYD electric cars and new Japanese automakers into Canada, Carney is once again delivering results that speak louder than any political slogan. While automobile giants like Stellantis and GM packed up and chased subsidies south of the border, Japan's automakers in South Korea's defense industry are turning toward Canada. That's not luck, that's leadership. Carney didn't panic when U.S. companies walked away. He replaced them with partners who believe in innovation, speed, and collaboration. Canada's manufacturing sector is being re-energized, not by nostalgia for Detroit, but by forward-looking partnerships across the Pacific. And now, this submarine deal marks another milestone, a statement that Canada's defense future is no longer tied to American production lines. The KSS-3 isn't just a machine. It's a symbol of trust between two nations that are investing in each other's strength. It's technology, security, and sovereignty wrapped into one project. Carney didn't fly across the world for photo ops. He came to secure assets that will keep Canada independent and respected. You can see it in the footage. He's not there as a guest. He's there as an equal. Touring the submarine, inspecting systems, speaking with South Korean engineers. This is what global leadership looks like. No bluster, no finger-pointing, just quiet execution. While Trump preaches isolation and tariffs, Carney is building the kind of alliances that create jobs, protect borders, and open new markets. The very move he's made from electric cars to defense tech is part of a bigger vision, a Canada that doesn't need to beg for trade deals because it's creating them. This submarine isn't just Canada's next defense project.